Is sugar bad for you? This is the question I want to answer in this video. Writer's Rain by UW Medicine has an article called Just How Bad is Sugar for You Really? The first main point that they make is that it is specifically added sugar that is the problem. Sugar that's naturally occurring in food is not an issue. For example, fruit has fibre, vitamins, minerals and phytonutrients, so the natural sugar comes along with a lot of nutritional benefits. But why is sugar bad? It increases the chance of dying of heart disease. This is true even if you exercise and eat your greens. You are more likely to get fatty liver. Also, you're more likely to suffer from depression or anxiety. And sugar is everywhere. It's hidden in foods you wouldn't expect, including bread. Even things not called sugar can be bad, such as brown rice syrup, honey or molasses. But given the choice, honey is a better option than refined sugar. And giving up sugar is hard. Sugar-free food is hard to find. For our ancestors, food was much more scarce, so we evolved to crave sweet and fatty foods to keep us going. When combined with fat, sugar is particularly pleasurable for us to eat. But now sugar and fat are in abundant supply, but we still crave them. But how reliable is the information in this article? Well, they link to several sources: JAMA Internal Medicine, PubMed, Nature.com, US Food and Drug Administration twice, and the Federal Register. But let's take a look at some other websites just to be sure. Healthline has an article called 11 Reasons Why Too Much Sugar is Bad for You. The reasons are: it can cause weight gain, may increase your risk of heart disease, has been linked to acne, increases your risk of diabetes, may increase your risk of cancer, may increase your risk of depression, may accelerate the skin aging process, can increase cellular aging, drains your energy, can lead to fatty liver, other health risks, increase kidney disease risk, negatively impact dental health, increase the risk of developing gout, accelerate cognitive decline. I'm not quite sure why they lumped those last four together. They could have just all been separate health risks, bringing the total to 14. Anyway, as for the reliability of their information, they have a lot of links throughout their article, many of which are on PubMed. But let's see if there's anyone that questions the idea that sugar is bad for you. BBC Future has an article called Is Sugar Really Bad for You? In this article they do question the claim that sugar is evil. To summarise the main points raised here, the correlation between sugar and obesity could just be a broad correlation and not causation. Sugar intake has been declining in the US while obesity has been rising. Some athletes eat a lot of sugar but don't have the associated health problems because they are burning it off through exercise. It could be that overall calorie intake is the problem, not specifically sugar. Labelling sugar as evil may be counterproductive because it then makes us want it more. But the problem is, this article doesn't link to studies or other reputable sources of information, so I'm inclined not to take it too seriously, really. Meanwhile, elsewhere at the BBC, specifically their Good Food website, they have an article called The Truth About Sugar. To summarise the main points from this article, if you're very physically active, some sugar may be good for energy. The problem is many people are physically inactive. A high intake of sugar causes a high, followed by a crash and then a craving for more. It may contribute to weight problems, diabetes and heart disease. They do link to several reputable sources: the NHS, the World Health Organization, PubMed twice, and the UK government. Speaking of the NHS, let's see what they say in their article, How Does Sugar in Our Diet Affect Our Health? First, why is sugar a problem? Well, eating too much sugar can make you gain weight and can also cause tooth decay. Free sugars are the problem. This means Any sugars added to food or drinks. These include sugars in biscuits, chocolate, flavoured yogurts, breakfast cereals and fizzy drinks. Sugars in honey, syrups such as maple, agave and golden, nectars such as blossom, and unsweetened fruit juices, vegetable juices and smoothies. The sugars in these foods occur naturally but still count as free sugars. Sugar found naturally in milk, fruit, vegetables and so on does not count as free sugars. So, how much is the maximum amount of sugar we should eat per day? Adults should have no more than 30 grams of free sugars a day, roughly equivalent to 7 sugar cubes. Children aged 7 to 10 should have no more than 24 grams of free sugars a day, 6 sugar cubes. Children aged 4 to 6 should have no more than 19 grams of free sugars a day, which is 5 sugar cubes. There is also some advice about how to reduce your sugar intake, but you can read that yourself if you want to. I will place links to all these articles in the description. In this article there aren't actually any links to sources outside of the NHS, but this is the NHS, so it's more likely to be a reliable source than many others anyway. So, in conclusion, it's probably best to reduce your sugar intake. From my own experience, I tend to feel a lot better when I don't have the sugar highs and lows. I much prefer having a more steady flow of energy. I will probably create a separate video about how to reduce your sugar intake. In the meantime, if you found this video helpful, please click the like button below, and if you would like to see more videos like this in future, why not click subscribe too? Until next time, I wish you the very best of health.